Hey guys, good to have you here. Larry here, and it's been a very awesome day, Monday morning. Yeah, I know I promised I was going to make this video over the weekend, but unfortunately I couldn't because I had to spend some quality time with my family. You know, I work and I also trade at the same time, and a lot of us get so caught up trying to make money and we forget our family, right? But it's very important you make out time for your family and spend time with your family when you can. And I always like to make use of my weekend for that because I go to work during the day and I also trade as well. And this weekend was just a great one for me to just spend some time with them. Okay, so a lot of you have been asking me questions on how I make use of the FSO Harmonic Scanner and the Agimat combo to actually trade the way I've been doing the past few months. And trying to be more generous to just share this and let you guys see how I trade. I've actually spent so much money on different systems, different trainings, okay? The market maker strategy, trading the high and lows of the day, using moving averages, a whole lot of other things, okay? And I've been able to bring this together to make it as simple as possible for me to take my trades. And it's been very helpful, I must tell you. Okay, so the Harmonic Scanner, it's basically for me, I trade it on higher time frame, so it's more of swing trading for me. And FS and the Agimat, I use it primarily to scalp, but now I usually don't do more of scalping. I do more of swing trading, taking profits in between, managing my trade, re-entering trades, and all of that based on what the higher time frame is telling me. So basically, for this, I trade daily and 4 hours. Okay, so I primarily make use of the Maxwell equation. Maxwell's equation is actually very powerful, but if you don't understand it, you won't understand how to interpret it. Okay, so some people say it's not about what you have, but what you have and how you make use of it. So you can have something powerful and might not know how to use it. Okay, I've got an account blown with this several times, for misinterpreting it. But in the last few weeks, it's been pretty accurate. I've been doing fantastically well with it. Last week I did almost 1,000 pips, with this, just trading few pairs. Okay, and you don't have to trade too many pairs with this. A lot of time I don't even trade in a whole week, and sometimes I get a good setup and I ride it all the way, just like what you're seeing on the screen right now. This is USDJPY, the UJ. Okay, for some of you, I know a lot of skeptics out there asking me, there's no trade on this system. Yes, this was my first account on FOREX. I stopped using FOREX after a while, but I have all my Agimat and FSO Harmonic Scanner attached to it, so I decided not to change it. So I use this specifically for analysis, and I have this also on my VPS. So from it, I can log in from my phone, check the state of the trade, pick from my phone, and just pick trades on my main accounts. All right. So I'm going to be sharing with you how I use this. So the first thing you need to do is, okay, maybe you were asking, how do I get the combo together? It depends on you. But the easiest one, which is what you're seeing here right now, is a combination of the FSO superimposed on the Agimat. This is the Agimat template. So on your Agimat, because you have so many indicators in Agimat, I don't want to go through being able trying to add Agimat to FSO. It's easier to add FSO to Agimat. Load your Agimat template, then go to your indicators list and attach this and load this FSO Harmonic Scanner indicator alone. So once you do that, you have your Agimat and FSO Harmonic Scanner running on it. You already have your Maxwell. This is the Maxwell for Agimat, and this is something I just used to scan through. And this is a software we also give out free on the Telegram group. So to just know trend, but none of this is 100% what we follow. There are several things you consider. So the first thing with Maxwell you consider is you need to draw a zone for a buying and selling zone for yourself. Okay, this doesn't come with the system. So what you need to do is you need to add a 0 level to your Maxwell. So how do you add a 0 level to your Maxwell? You go to your indicator settings or the Maxwell settings. Then here you had a level. Okay, so the level you're adding now is just 0. So what this will do for you is it will allow you to know when your setup is in the buy zone or in the sell zone. So if you go to levels, just click on add. Don't put anything that is 0. Then choose a color that will show well on your chart. So if it's a black background, use a white. If it's a white background, use black. If it's a color like background like this, you can prefer to use a black color, right? And once you've done that, it helps you to draw a boundary between your sell zone and your buy zone. That is the first step. Okay, so this is the first step. Now, the next step is that for you to be able to, I don't pick any trades based on the fact that my Maxwell is looking anyhow into the sell zone. So if my setup is on buy, for example, in this situation, we got this indication that there's a setup and our take profit one is here. And I saw that this is already coming in. Immediately I entered this trade. Before I even entered, I looked at I first of all look at this. And when I look at this, I look at how much of the prediction goes into the sell zone. So you can have a slope to this point and it's curving this way. I might not take that trade because it's still in the buy zone. But if it cuts a little into this, I might still not take it. I want to see something that will cut more deeper into the buy zone. So if I'm in a sell zone, this is a sell zone, okay? So what some of you are saying is, so yeah, so the sell zone is above and into buy zone. So now you're here and you're selling. The moment you're selling from here, you want to see it go deeper into the, sorry, I think I mixed that up, but I'm sure you got what I'm trying to say. Now, in this point, you want to see how much of Maxwell goes into this other zone. If it's not much, or if it's turning back, it doesn't make sense. Now, what this is showing me, if I interpret this very well, is that price is going to come all the way by almost 100 to 150 pips. You can actually measure it if you want. So you can have an estimate. This is about 200 pips, 280 pips, say plus or minus 150 to 280 pips. Now, it's cut in. Initially, it was even smoother all the way down. That shows that price will come all the way down into sell. More sell will come in, all right? And these signs in your daily and H4, it will show you that those are heavy pullbacks. So pullbacks will happen, but the final movement is still going down, okay? Now, let me see if I have a screenshot of how this looks initially when this chart first came up. Okay, I'll show you how it looks when the chart first came up on my, I think I took a screenshot of that. So I'm going to show you the screenshot in just a moment. Now, this was how it looked when it came up. You can see, look at how Maxwell looked like here. And it was pointing down. Now, prices have changed over the last 2 weeks. So Maxwell will adjust, but the adjustment will not be as much significant as what you will see on the lower time frame, like I said earlier. So in this situation, you can see that it was telling me that this will go down below this 0 point, below the middle point, meaning that it makes more sense going for it. Okay, but in this situation, in the last 2 weeks, a lot of things have happened, and now we have a whole lot change. Look at that, and let me show you now the new one as at today, because I tell you, Maxwell will always adjust to what price is saying. So look at this. Now, in this situation, price is even going deeper inside. So it's showing you that, yes, there will be some pullbacks around this section, okay, around this point. So I'm actually running my system, my Windows from within my Mac, so it's taking some resources. But a lot of time I have my Windows set up separately, so I can run it separately without a Mac, so it's a bit faster. But for this, I'm just using the one within my Windows, using the what's the name of the software again? VirtualBox. Okay, so it's taking a couple of memory, compared to how it's supposed to be when it's running. So this is showing me that price will consolidate a bit here, but will still go further. And when you don't even see Maxwell in sight, is an indication that the price is going to go way down. Okay, so hey guys, don't quote me for it. So don't tell me, oh, you told me it's going to go down. That's why I just entered immediately I saw your video. It's up to you. Make sure you do analysis after this video and understand what I'm trying to say properly. Okay, so in this situation, I can decide to trade some of these pullbacks. Let me see. I think I have some screenshot I made as well. During my trading of this, because as the trades was going on, I opened multiple positions, and as trades were going on, I was closing some. I was looking out for some trades. I closed some, I re-entered again. And I'll show you how I do that. I usually re-enter on 30 minutes. I look out for pullbacks on 30 minutes and I watch the pullbacks. If the pullbacks makes a lot of sense, I re-enter. So I don't trade against the trend in this situation now. So let's assume that it's going on sell. Let me see how my Agimat set up here. Let's go to UJ, the same trade. Now, we started trading this. We started trading this right from, sorry, I have to mix up here. Okay, so we started trading this, I think, around here. So in this situation, I keep re-entering this trade at every pullback. So once the pulls back, or once I see that there will be pullback, I get out of the trade. Or I take profit, sorry, I take profit. And when I see price going up, I just wait. The moment I see another line for pullback, for continuation of trend, I re-enter. And when I see pullback again, I get out of the trade. So I have some running indefinitely, and I have some, I just take the profit in between. That has to do with you and your trading style. You can decide to do that. You can just decide to swing it and leave it all the way till it runs to the end. But someone like me, once in a while, I like to just take some profits. I don't like giving my money to the brokers anymore. I take out some profits and I let the rest run. Okay, I'll show you a screenshot. I think I have a screenshot of the UJ I use on my phone. I share a lot of screenshots from my phone. So a lot of people think I trade from my phone. I only pick trades and manage trades from my phone. I don't analyze trade from my phone. Some people know how to do that, but personally, I don't recommend it because I don't know how to do it anyway. So I don't even recommend it. This is as at this morning. Let me see screenshot I have here. Okay, so this is as at this morning. I have over 600 pips still running. Okay, I took profits from the ones coming here. So the last one I took that is still running is this. I took a trade here and I decided to leave it till the end of the trade. So I re-entered for some of this. I have like 2 trades running here. All right, and in total there are about 600 pips plus running at the moment. And UJ still has a long way to go. A lot of people complain, oh, FSO doesn't give me signal all the time. But I tell them, once it gives you signal, it can give a single signal on daily that you can enjoy for the rest of the month. It can give you your target for the month and you'll be fine. Okay, but there's so much you need to know how to learn, to know how to do. It's not just about getting busy trading. Like I always tell people, I don't believe in full-time trading because it gets you overwhelmed to pick trade or to try to trade or overtrade in some cases. And it doesn't make sense when you're making profit and you're giving it back to the brokers. Why not just take a profit and wait for the next day or whatever, take a trade, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades in a week, or even 1 trade in a week, and you're good. Okay, I like trades like this. I've been enjoying UJ. I've enjoyed UJ like this long time ago, like several months ago, like almost 5 months ago. Now I'm enjoying it again. If you get a good signal, a good setup, you'll be fine. I'm telling you, you'll be fine. Okay, all you need to do is be patient. Don't run after setup. Let setup come to you. Once it comes to you, you pick it up and you run with it and you milk it all the way. Okay, so let's get back to what I was explaining earlier. So in this situation, I picked this trade because my Maxwell was showing me that it's passing this boundary way down. It's not just passing here and staying here. Okay, it's passing down into this zone. Okay, let's define this now. We call this buy zone because sell zone. But when you're here, you are selling. So it's deeper into the sell zone. So once it cuts deeper into the sell zone, then you're good. It's a good trade to take. Okay. So what I look for, you might be asking, what do you look for before picking a trade? In some cases, I don't even have harmonic pattern showing up. But when harmonic pattern shows up, it makes a whole lot of sense. I look out for Maxwell giving me a good slope. Once the Maxwell can give me a good slope from either from the top down or from down up, way more into the upper hand. So if I'm here, I want to give me signal more into this section. And when I'm here, I want to give me signal more into this section. Like this reversal is not confirmed to me. I'm not even looking at taking it because there are some reversal that you see will come all the way up here. And the movement might not be more than 10, 15, 20 pips. Okay, so you want to see it cut straight into this. So even if you have it from here, let's say the price turned from here and here, it's showing you more here. I'm going to take that trade because it's now giving me more into the buy, into that buy zone, and I'm taking a buy for it. Okay, I'll probably show you some of them like this. Look at this situation here. It's a good setup. So it's cutting straight deep in here. This is a good setup. Giving it here, I'll take that trade as well. Even though the moment I get here, the moment I get to this section, I'm already getting out of the trade. Okay, or something like this. You can see that it's a little point, but it's showing you deep. Get it? All the way from up here, taking it down. That's almost 100 pips. Okay, so I like to wait for the perfect setup, and I take the perfect setup only. And now, why I have this and this open is because I have FSO here. FSO takes a lot of memory. Agimat doesn't. So I have Agimat set up, and I can check Agimat. I scan my Agimat for whatever I want. So if I'm scanning for 4 hours, all I need to do, I actually have my alerts shown up here. So all I have to do here is just, all I do here is I just look for future prediction of Agimat from the beginning to the end. That's how I do it. I just scan, and I don't have to do it every minute. I do it like every 4 hours, and once I see one, or once I see a potential setup, I mark it down. Okay, and I can measure in how many hours time that will be ready. And don't say because you measure it down, you're going to jump into it immediately. You have to also reconfirm what have price done. Has there been any news effect, or is there any upcoming news effect? Maybe you might want to wait till after the news before you get in. Look at this particular trade, for example. It shows you this, but it didn't cost so much into it. So in a situation like mine, I would have let it go, even though it was not bad. But I would have let it go. Okay. So check out what the news is saying. Is there news effects on the pattern? If there is, you let it go. If not, leave it alone. Look at this pattern, for example. It didn't cost too much. From here, you will think, oh, this would be a fantastic setup. Look at this, 460 pips. But check here, see how many pips you got. There's about 100 pips. But when you're looking at it, it looks like it's going to be big, but it's not going to be. It's not dependent on how much here, because you are still in this zone. You need to get into this lower zone. If you're not getting much into this lower zone, hey, I won't take that trade. Okay, it's simple. It's very, very simple. Okay, and that's how I follow the rules because I'm not so desperate to take trades. The first thing that is in my mind or is on my mind is my capital preservation. My equity preservation is far more greater, far more important than making profit. So it's when I protect my capital or my equity, then I'm taking profits next. And when I take profit next, I'm locking out my profits, closing and using my trailing stop, moving my profits, my stop loss to break even plus my spread, or my stop loss moving the closer plus some pips. All right. So it's very, very key. Beyond just jumping into trade, you also need to understand how to manage those trades. Else, you just get into a good trade and it gets to the extreme end of the trend, and it reverses back on you and eats your stop loss. It's possible if you don't know how to manage your trade. I would rather manage a trade well and get out with 10 or 5 pips than get a reversal that will eat my stop loss. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So don't expect price to come back after a reversal. It usually doesn't happen. So move your stop loss to your break even plus your spread. You always have another opportunity to get back into that trade. Okay, it's very, very key. So managing your trade is very key, very, very important. So now I'm still scanning for H4, and like I said, don't be desperate. Don't try to make it work. If it's not looking like what is good, stay out of it. This is the simplest way to analyze trade. I call it the lazy man approach to analyze trade. Look at this point, but it's telling you that it's getting more into this zone. So I'm looking at this more of sell, of buy. You can see, gave it goodbye. Look, the same thing here. Cut more into this sell zone, and I'm selling. You can see it's even way bigger than you probably see here. Okay, so it happens a lot. The attention must be price. Where is price coming from, and where is price going to? Where price is going to must be more important to you than that level. So if it's in this section, then if everything is in this section, then it doesn't make sense. It must cut straight into this zone before I can go into this trade. Okay, I'm not sure. I didn't take this trade. I think I took it on I think I took it on EA, something like that. I'll show you a screenshot of what I took. I think that was last week, thereabout. So when you're looking at it, look at this. Look at this. This is more here and a little bit, yeah, into this. So I can take it because it's cutting more into half of this zone. So I can take this. You know, I think majority of the card pairs actually have those significant movements. You know, a couple of weeks back. So our correct one, USDJPY. You can see that from USDJPY, you probably might not even see any signal except all these ones here, from here, and you probably won't even take much trade. But looking at it from a higher time frame, you can see, looking at it from a higher time frame makes it so easy. I don't even bother about the movement. Sometimes it goes into way negative during the business because once you enter well, you enter from the top. Even when it consolidates along the line, you don't care because you know the end direction. You know, I have an analogy I gave on the Telegram group that a lot of people run away from the higher time frame because they assume that the higher time frame is more, you know, it's a long time, it's a long thing, it takes time and all of that. And I use this analogy that the higher time frame is like the head of a snake. You can never know where a snake is going to by the tail. The tail in this situation represents the lower time frame. A lot of traders, a lot of newbies, and some even those that claim to be, you know, experienced traders, they chase lower time frame. And in this situation, you are trying to know where a snake is going, and you are chasing the tail. It's not going to work. You're not going to know where the snake is going to because the snake will always go in different direction when you look at the tail. But if you look at the head of the tail, you know. If you look at the head of the snake, you know where the snake is going. You can go ahead of the snake. So you can align yourself in that direction. Okay? So it's very, very key to get used to higher time frame. And I'm going to show you something that will blow your mind. I gave an analogy of some screenshots, you know, to some folks, I think last week. And I was showing them how using higher time frame can actually make your life way easier. Okay? And I took some trade. I think I took some trade on the particular pair, and they were asking me a question, okay, is it 15 minutes, is it 30 minutes? I said, no, I took it from 4 hours, okay? And I'm gonna show you this. Let me switch to this screenshot so that I can show you. You need to be very calm. You need to know exactly what you're doing. Else, you just be, you know, running else scatter, okay? So this is a 30 minutes chart. And I was using this as an analogy that if you want to take this trade, you would have missed. There's no way Maxwell would have shown you this move. Maxwell can never show you this move. You would have lost out on this move. All right. But look at this. Maybe you would have seen this. This would have looked good. You would have probably entered this. You would have taken this trade. You know, maybe this. And even if you've taken this, you realize that there's no movement at all. The movement was insignificant. Okay. That's on 30 minutes. Now let's look at how this look on the 1 hour chart. Look at this. That same point, probably would have gotten it in here and you're checking out around here. And look at it, price was still moving. You would have lost out here, not getting any pip here. And then you'd have seen this setup, probably would have entered here. This was about 45 pips, would have entered, gotten some here and gotten out. But look at how it looked more on the 4 hours chart. Look at the 4 hour chart. The 4 hour chart actually captured it. See, it showed you that from here, it's going all the way in. Guy, I'm going into that trade all the way up. And by getting all the way up, I would have caught more pips. I would have caught more pips, almost 250 pips here alone. And I've been good for the week, right? So from the 4 hour chart, I possibly saw more possibilities than the lower time frame. The lower time frame won't show you anything, all right? It's definitely won't show you much. And there's nothing much you can really do if it doesn't show you much, okay? I think I have a screenshot of one of the trades. Yeah, this was one of the trades I also took like last week. I took it from the top, you know, and when it got to a point when it was consolidating, I got out, you know, and I re-entered again for another 75 pips, you know, making almost 182 pips, you know, just from one pair. So I might not have to run after so many pairs. You won't have to run after so many pairs. If you focus on the higher time frame, the H4 and the daily, I'm telling you, you'll be good. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I use it with the Agimat, what I do with the Agimat in this situation. Because some people ask me, must I get Agimat? No, it's not compulsory. But if you really want to milk it like I do, you might have to get it, okay? And if you don't, you can actually, there's a link below this video you can use to get your Agimat if you don't have Agimat. And if you are using Agimat and you need to get FSO Harmonic Scanner, you can actually use the link as well to get your FSO Harmonic Scanner. Because when you have a great pattern, you can write it well. It's going to be like a confluence for what you've seen on the Maxwell, and the Maxwell to making it well as well to write, worth writing. So let's take this as an example. This trade, let's say this trade came on daily, and I've been writing this trade all the while. Now, as I've been writing this trade, there are different points in time that it consolidates. So let's say here is our daily, and I go to 30 minutes. So when it's pulling back, so in a situation like this, when I see a pull, when you see yellow box like this without arrow, it's a pullback, right? So as it's showing me pullback, I get some profit out, and I'm waiting for it to set up. So I see something like this, I can enter, but in this situation, I think I entered for a few pips and I got out when I got here again. And I waited. The moment I saw this again, I got in. And I think I got in here and I've not gotten out those trades. I've not closed those trades and then I've left it, to run. So it's very key. If you understand how to do that, you can let it run more. Okay, you're not going to just jump out. So when people ask me, "Are you sure this thing gonna run?" Yeah, and I go back to my daily and I'm like, "Guys, look at this. Look at this point. There will be consolidation here, yeah. Okay, so you can wait for this consolidation point and enter from the top again. Usually, I use the ADR. So for those of you who are not familiar with the ADR indicator, price usually, work within this range of average daily range. So I like to take I'm targeting a short. So I'm waiting for price to consolidate or pull back to this ADR high or closer to ADR high. And I jump in. That's for new trade, okay? Or if I'm trying to enter a reversal trade. You can see from the ADR high, it's gone down. Possibility is going to come up. Following this can also work sometime on 30 minutes. You come all the way up and jump in, and you're riding it all the way down because that is going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. And once that happens, there's still more distance to go, almost 150 pips. Okay, but I don't wait till the end because a lot of time price reverses somewhere around almost to the end. So you don't wait. So even when you see a sharp bend like this, you don't wait till the end. Take your profit from here and run. So once price gets to this point, for me, I'm out of this trade finally. Okay, I don't wait till this end because this end might be the reversal point and price might be fast in reversing. Have you seen a reversal happen with almost 150 pips? It happens. So you don't want to wait till the end or the tip of that reversal. Okay, and I'm still writing this UJ. Let me see. I think I have a screenshot of the one I took just today. My UJ is still running. Okay, I think I showed it earlier. I have over 600 pips still running. Okay, it's something doable. Everybody can do it, but you need to practice. You need to be able to get over your greed and selfishness. It is very, very powerful. Greed is very powerful. If you don't master it, it can master you. And once it masters you, you can actually lose a lot. Okay, you can lose a lot. Oh, okay. I think I missed it. It's supposed to show you not my finder. It should be showing you my preview. Where is it showing up? A preview. Sorry. I guess I've been showing something else all the while. I don't know if it showed you the video, but I'll take a look at it before, and if it's good, yes, to go. Okay. So let me show you. Okay, I'll just run over the one I did earlier. It's worked. So this is the one that is running at the moment, and I was explaining a few of the screenshots I had earlier. There's no way you would have caught this on 30 minutes. You won't have, probably only days on 1 hour. The same charts probably would have caught this. You'd have missed out on all this. Probably caught this, and for hours you would have caught a lot more. That was what I was trying to explain earlier. I'm not sure if I showed you guys, earlier. Right. So let's get back to this before get out of your face in this video. So using this, it makes a lot of sense. You can check your pullbacks once you are on a trade on 1 hour or 4 hours, sorry, on 4 hours or daily. Check your pullbacks on 30 minutes and know when to re-enter or what kind of pullbacks to expect. But once you have a great setup like this, cutting from up here, downward here, you are good to go. You can say, okay, you know what, how do I prevent myself from so much drawdown? Because if you're entering from daily and 1 hour, 4 hours, you can actually have a lot of drawdown before the movement starts. So in your situation, you can decide to wait for the arrow to come in from your Agimat. That's this white arrow. I like to jump in because once I see where it's going, I don't mind the drawdown, I can jump in. But a lot of time when I jump in, I usually jump in from the high of the day. So a lot of time, the drawdown is usually not much. So if you jump in from the arrow, then you're good to go right in it because your focus is on the higher time frame, is not on the lower time frame. And once you have that done, you're good to go. So you can always check for pullbacks and know where, in case you want to take some profit and get back in, take some profit and get back in. I've done most of the 900 plus pips I did, in the last week actually came from UJ. I caught a lot of pips, multiple pips in and out of the trades, and it was really interesting, So I always like to say that successful trading is not just about the entry. It's also about how you manage the trade, how you protect your profits, how you protect your equity, how you manage, how you try not to over leverage your trades. Like someone took one of the trade when I called the UJ with a standard lot on less than £500 account. That's over leveraging. I wouldn't advise doing that. Okay, but the person was very lucky. Got out with some good profit, almost 250 pips, 250 pounds, on a £450 account. Yeah, but in some cases, if it went against, that means over 50% of that equity is gone. Okay, so don't over leverage. Manage your trade reasonably well. Okay, and I don't know if I have anything missing, but hey, I think I've done justice to this. So if you need further help, you can always chat me up privately or send me an email with the details in the description box, and I'll be willing to help. Okay, and if you have one of these two, you can get the second one from the link below. Either Agimat, you have Agimat, you can get FSO Harmonic Scanner. If you have FSO Harmonic Scanner, you can get Agimat. Okay, and these tools will greatly help you. It's helping me right now, and I think I do less analysis. And all I need to do is just scan through these pairs using my simple changer. Scan through these pairs on 4 hours. Scan through them on daily. And once I find a perfect one, I jump in. Once I don't find, I leave it alone and I face other things. Get a job, get something else to do, get a hobby to do. With that, it reduces the pressure of having to trade. Don't be under pressure to just take every and any trade that shows up on your screen. So I can tell you categorically, Maxwell is fantastic, but you must know when to get in, what trade to take, and when to get out. All right. I hope I've been able to help you guys, and it's been wonderful, spending time to explain this to you guys. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm still riding the USD JPY, and I believe by the end of this week or probably towards the midweek reversal of Wednesday, Thursday, the trade might be over, but like I said, I won't wait till the end before I get out. Once I get to this point, which is in the next maybe 2 days or 3 days, I'll probably get out of this trade and I'll be looking out for another one. I actually have another trade I entered several weeks ago. That's the USD CHF. I entered this trade when I was still trying to understand a few other things, with the tool. I think I entered it somewhere around here for a sell. Yeah, I got some sell and some trades were still open and I just left it to run. And ran against me to buy. I didn't ride the buy, but I entered again for sell. So trade is coming in my profit, and most of them are in profit right now. But what am I trying to bring up from there? Once you see a trade that is not in your favor, get out of it. Especially when you're looking at it from the higher time frame. If you can, get out of it and cut your loss, to minimal level. And if you have a profit running, block it by take your stop loss to break even plus few pips to cover spread and let it run. Okay, and you can use this strategy to take as much profit as possible. I think a pattern just showed up. Okay, it's Euro CHF, that's EF. I think someone was telling me about the EF earlier. EF just formed, that's 30 minutes. I usually don't trade 30 minutes, but when the Maxwell is very tempting sometimes, I just scalp it for 30, 40, 50 pips and get out. In some cases, maybe 10 pips and get out. But usually I don't do 10, I do 20 pips. If it's something that will not deliver minimum of 20 pips for me, I don't even bother. I just skip it. Okay? But in some cases, the Maxwell on the daily, on the 30 minutes, for those of you that understand market maker movements, market makers, a lot of time, they stop onto the low, they stop onto the high. Sometimes they move to they move from low to the high and form a hem and come down. And sometimes they come from the opening of the day, they come down to the low of the day, they form a W and go all the way up. So it happens like that. So in some cases, you can see your 30 minutes Maxwell giving you a V. When you see a V like that, means you can write it down, but you have to be glued to your system. Write it down before it gets to the V point, wait for it. And the moment you see another sign, you take it away up. I've done that several times. It can be fantastic, but it can also be very expensive. So I usually don't, because it makes you trade against the trend. But so I don't usually do that all the time. I do it once in a while when I have enough time to see with my charts. Okay, so guys, I gotta go. I'm actually at work during this video, so I have to get back to work now. All right, I run my business. Before you start about mouthing me, I run my IT firm, and it's been great trading and doing business at the same time. So if you have questions, like I said earlier, you can please get back to me. I'll be willing to help, willing to give you more information. And if you're here to get your tool, get it right down. Team, like, come your way once more. You guys enjoy your day. And if you're asking me if I'm taking this trade, of course not. Maxwell is not looking good at all. So I'm not taking this trade. This trade is most likely going to come all the way down, maybe to this point. Okay, but most likely I'm not going to take it. I have so much quality trade. I don't go for any kind of trade. I go for high quality trade, and I ride it all the way down, like you've seen with UJ. Take care, guys. It's been great. It's been amazing, pouring out what I've learned over the few months. And you can keep practice it. Practice. I will implore you, practice on demo, okay, before you risk real money. Don't come back to me and tell me it was my fault that I didn't explain it properly or I didn't get it properly. Practice it on demo and know what you're doing before placing real money on this, okay? But for me, it's working well, and I'm really glad I found this. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your day and have a great, peaceful week this week. Cheers, guys.